So this is going to be an interesting topic to talk about. Every single time I log on to the internet, I've been seeing this movement on stop killing games, and it's just been taking the entire internet by storm. And everywhere I look, there's this big movement about stop killing games. People like some ordinary gamers has been talking about this. People like Young Yeah have been talking about this. And I'm pretty sure even people like Asmund Gold even has been talking a little bit about this as well. So for this video, I just want to talk about the stop killing games movement, and I want to put my 2 cents in on this whole situation. And honestly, I think this is a very important thing to talk about as well, especially due to the recent track record that the game industry has been going through, because we've been seeing so many games that are going fully digital, that are live services, that have been shutting down. And if the games are not live services and they don't have like a dedicated single player mode, the game still gets shut down and the game gets taken away anyway. And we've seen this with games like The Crew, and we've seen this with games like Marvel's Avengers, and we've seen this with games like Multiverses, games like Dauntless, and the more recent game, X Defiant, even. So, I'm pretty sure this is a creator that a lot of you folks have heard by now, but this is a person that goes by the name of Accursed Farms. And if I'm understanding this correctly, this is a person that has started this entire stop killing games movement, and this is just one person that is trying to make a pro consumer move for gamers. And basically the whole point of this is to preserve video games and try to help preserve games. If you want like a deep dive on this whole Stop Killing Games movement, I'll leave the link to Accursed Farms channel in the description down below, so you folks can go check them out for yourselves and get a more deeper dive on this entire movement. So I'm just going to give my 2 cents on this whole Stop Killing Games movement, and I'm going to give my thoughts and opinions on this. But basically, this whole Stop Killing Games movement is basically a movement to tell game publishers to, well, stop killing video games. It's that simple. Because, like I've already mentioned, we've been seeing games like X Defiant getting shut down and taken away from people's libraries, and games like The Crew that have been shut down and taken away from people's libraries that they paid hard earned money for. So I'm pretty sure that this is a saying that a lot of us have heard online from a lot of other people, and this is basically the new toxic trend that these corporations and these corporate companies are trying to normalize in the gaming industry. You will own nothing and you will be happy with it. And it's just such a shitty concept and such a anti-consumer thing to say, because that's basically what's been happening with these corporations, and they're trying to normalize this. You own nothing and you will be happy with it. That's like the same thing as me saying, oh, you don't own a house. You only purchased a license to rent that house. So we're going to be kicking your family out on the streets. So good luck trying to survive the summer heats or the brutal winter cold weather conditions and try to keep your family cool or keep your family warm during those brutal weather conditions. Would you be okay if the house industry just came in and barged in to your house and told you you only bought a license to rent the house and then you get kicked out like 3 days after? Or what about buying a car? You know, you already went through all the paperwork, you got the car, and one day you try to leave for work, and then the car industry comes knocking on your door telling you, well, actually, you only purchased a license to rent that car, so we're going to be taking that car away from you now, sir. And they tow your car away, and they just tell you, oh, hey, good luck trying to get to your job that's 3 hours away from your home that's on the highway, bucko. Would you be okay with that? Would you be okay with the car industry taking away your car that you paid hard earned money for? Or what about this example? You see a girl that you really like, or you're in a relationship with a girl you really like, and you like her so much, you want to put a ring on her and marry her, and then you go out and buy a wedding ring, right? But The day before you're thinking about proposing to your girlfriend, the Ring industry or Ring Corporation Inc. comes knocking down your door like the FBI, and they tell you, oh, hey, you didn't buy that ring. You only purchased a license to rent that wedding ring. So we're going to be taking that back from you now, sir. And then the Ring Corporation takes your ring that you paid your hard earned money for just to ruin a beautiful moment you could have possibly had. Would you be okay with that? Would you be okay if the ring company just took your ring away that you paid your hard earned money for? So, why is it okay for gaming companies to do stuff like this? Why is this okay for gaming corporations to normalize this trend? Because what they're trying to do in a nutshell here is they're trying to normalize digital theft within the game industry, believe it or not. I talked about this with the whole Ubisoft controversy surrounding The Crew because people have paid money for games like The Crew and they paid money for other video games, and then these companies like Ubisoft shut the servers down and take your games away from your digital libraries that you paid hard earned money for. And yet, people like me are going to call this stuff out and we're going to be criticizing these gaming companies and we're going to be taking our business elsewhere as consumers. And that's where the Stop Killing Games petition comes into play. Because if this goes through the EU, the European Union, if I'm understanding this correctly, it's basically a petition to make publishers preserve their games in some way. So they either publish or not publish, I'm sorry, if they update the game to have a dedicated offline mode, or they hand the game off to the a small group of dedicated fans so they can keep the game going and then they can try to preserve the game that way. So basically, if I'm understanding this correctly, the Stop Killing Games movement is trying to help people like me and people like you watching this video preserve your games. And this entire movement has been sparked on the internet and it's been catching a lot of people's attention. And I mean a lot. And a lot of people are in full support behind this movement. And rightfully so. Because as someone who's been playing video games since he was a baby, and yes, I'm talking about me, I literally been playing games. I almost said gay for a second. I've been playing video games since I was a baby, first shot out of the womb. Just whee! Alright, gamer baby here. Let's play video games. No, but with all dead seriousness, as someone who's been playing video games since they were a baby, I can fully understand and fully support this movement that this guy is trying to do. Because if this goes through, this could send a message to all these other companies around the world and these other countries to let them know, oh, hey, what the game industry is doing is anti consumer and this is not okay. So if you're going to violate our nation's laws and consumer protection plans, then we're going to fuck you over as a company and we're going to give you a massive headache and we're going to put some serious consequences on you for violating the consumer protection laws that we have in place. I've heard rumors about how Brazil was going to file a lawsuit against Nintendo because Nintendo has been bricking their Switch 2 consoles and they're going to try to give Nintendo a massive headache for that. But that's a topic for another day. Anyways, I really hope that this Stop Killing Games movement really takes off. And I really hope that this is successful. And I really hope that this goes through. And I really hope that people can preserve their games. Because let's really think about this for a second. You, as a consumer of video game products, and you, as a person that plays video games, you should have the right to own your games that you buy. You should have a right to own the games that you get through physical copies or digital copies or whatever means you get your games, whether it be in a collector's bundle, whether it be digital or just a standard physical copy that's just a standalone, whatever. You should have the right to own the products you buy no matter what. You shouldn't have these stupid corporations dictate what you do with your product. You shouldn't have companies like Ubisoft tell you, oh, hey, you don't own that game. We own it, and we decide what you do with your product. Companies like Ubisoft, they don't have a right to dictate what you do with your game. You, as a customer, have a right to do what you want with your product. And if these companies are just going to stand by this statement of you own nothing and you'll be happy with it, then we as consumers should give these corporations a massive headache. No matter if it's through the format of a lawsuit so you can get these companies in legal trouble, whatever. You as a customer and you as a player have a right to ownership. You shouldn't let these assholes at Ubisoft, Activision, EA, or whatever. You shouldn't have companies like Microsoft or Sony or even fucking Nintendo. You shouldn't let these corporations walk over you and destroy your ownership rights. Because if they get away with this, then this could destroy gaming in many more ways than we can think of. So I really hope this Stop Killing Games movement goes through, and I really hope that this takes off, because if it does, this is going to send a message to these companies like Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony, and this is going to let them know, if you fuck around with the consumer, we're going to fuck you over financially, no matter what. So, with this being said, thank you everyone for watching and for listening. And until next time, I'm talking about the Stop Killing Games movement, and I will see you all later.